Rovers return to EFL action this weekend with, of course, big bad boy Brereton Diaz still pulling on the blue and white halves. Will he score to celebrate his return to Ewood? We'll take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. Looking forward to Blackburn Rovers' latest match. That's right, up against Bristol City at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in 1 second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button, bang up to all things Rovers related, Championship related, World Cup related later this year. That's right, of course, Rovers are in action, and of course, after a bit of a busy climax to the transfer window, bringing in a couple of new faces last time around. But of course, the main news is they're keeping hold of the Chilean Harry Kane. That's right, big bad boy Brereton Diaz will remain as part of the Rovers setup for at least till January, of course. But now, as the build up to Christmas begins, we can begin and we can look forward to the likes of Daki and Diaz linking up. We'll take a look at that, all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And of course, as we put up to the weekend, make sure to vote. That's right, best. We're looking for some recognition for the channel, and hopefully you could do just that as well. So what are we talking about? We're talking about this, guys. I'm talking about the Football Content Creator Awards. I am looking for best in video for an organisation, best club content creator as a whole, and best club content creator in a football league. So please get out there and vote. It's 100% free, of course, and you can give us a big old boost by doing just that as well. So please check it all out. Link is in the description as well, but it's also cut.ly/Roverseas, and it is, again, like I said, 100% free, and you could be my new best mate for life. That's right. So here we go then. Let's take a long hard look at it. It is Rovers, it is Bristol City, it is at Ewood Park. And again, a big shout out to Blue Rose Capital for sponsoring this video. They are superstar standouts, and I do appreciate the support behind the scenes. So let's get into it. Of course, take a look at the coaches. They should actually be flip-flopped around. It should actually be JDT on top. That's right, he likes to be on top. That's right. Up against Nigel Pearson. JDT coming at you, of course, 1.67 points a game so far in his managerial tenure, as up against Nigel Pearson, who's got 1.49 points per match. And of course, against points against Rovers, though, 1.5. He's actually just lost twice over 8 matches when he's managed against them. He's actually 59 years old compared to John Don Thompson's 46. He's a baby. He's actually, 3 years and a day older than me. Coming at you, though, the most valuable player is, of course, big bad boy Brereton Diaz. He remains at the helm, 1.85 metres tall, right-footed, 23-year-old. He is a Chilean, and he, of course, is our main man right now, and of course will continue to be the main man even the way till his value dwindles to nothing. Up against them, most valuable player allegedly is Noah Masango, of course, a nice, creative, big boss man in midfield. He's still only 21 years of age, value just shy of £4 million, but that's that's actual true value, but of course sentimental value for Bristol City might be closer to the £6-7 million range. Of course, these are the values of the squads. Rovers have a £40 million rated squad compared to Bristol City's 28.6. I think Wyman must be up there, surely. Of course, we have a younger squad than they do. Of course, we do have 2 national players for us. They have 6. We have more youth national players than they do. They have more Johnny foreigners than we do as well. As for the recent record then, since 2012, we played each other 15 times, both home and away, and we've won 6 of them. They've won 5. There's been 4 draws, of course. However, our record coming into this is 50% form for them, winning 3 and losing 3. Their record against heading into this is actually pretty shit hot. Unbeaten in the last 6 games, picking up 4 wins in the last 5 as well. 83% form for them. Moving on, of course, their biggest win over us, 4-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-1 win. But we've scored 21 goals compared to their 16 over the course of those 15 games. Works out about 1.07 goals a game compared to the 1.40 goals a game for Rovers. Let's take a long hard look at Rovers, and the form heading into this is a little bit better than it was before. Of course, it's actually 2 wins now in the last 3 games. However, last time we were at Ewood Park was a 1-0 loss against Stoke. However, our home record is okay. Besides that blip, I think we just lost 1 loss at home. Hopefully, it will remain that way for a long, long time, of course. But coming to on the back of that win over Blackpool at Blackpool, heading out of this game, it is Wigan next. Of course, next week is another Northwest Crunch clash. That is, of course, on Saturday, 10th of September. And then we have a bit of a tricky games coming up with a difficult home game against Watford, Luton Town on the road, Millwall, and Cardiff. Realistically, there are some points in there that we can have to add to the tally. Let's take a long, hard look at it then, shall we? This is the team right now. It has been updated. Kaminsky, of course, remains number 1. Ainsley Pearce, of course, will be there as well. We have blessed by some youngsters who don't even make this squad here. Adam Wharton, is he in here? Adam Wharton, he did play, so he should feature in there, but I cannot see him in there whatsoever. So, but the likes of Clinton Mola, it says Arthur Wharton in here. Clinton Mola is in there. We picked him up on transfer deadline day, as we did with George Hurst the day before. So this is it. This is as you would make it out for Rovers. Of course, Callum Britton was also added. Ashley Phillips remains, and hopefully will sign the contract to remain a part of the furniture for the next couple of seasons. So we'll see about that as well. Let's take a long hard look at, of course, the key players for Rovers this season. It's actually been Daniel Ayala's show with a 7.23 rated performance so far. Scotty Wharton has also been fantastic, as has his brother Adam, who actually played an absolute belter this midweek. So, and of course, that performance has put him in the spotlight for Rovers fans, and I think he's become a must-start sort of player. Travis is up there as well, but he played that position at right back, which could be one of our weakest spots this campaign. Diaz remains in there, 6.83 average, and then of course a couple of other familiar faces as well. This is what makes up my lineup. As you can see, big old Ed there is Adam Wharton. I've got Kaminsky between sticks, Pickering at left back, Wharton, Hyam, and Carter Hyam, another addition in this past week. Of course, signed a dotted line from Coventry, and he had a standout performance in that game against Blackpool, keeping a clean sheet. So I've got him and Wharton, if fit. If not, then it might be similar to the game against Blackpool. Might be Hyam on the left hand side, or it might even be Bowler alongside Hyam with Carter at right back. That is the questionable mark right now. If Britain is not fit and raring to go, we've already dabbled and experimented with JRC at the back there, Travis as well. Buckley's played there, so and again they can all play there. Maybe Buckley does start if not, and he gets in the squad that way. Travis and Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton was a grade, of course, on Wednesday, and he showed that he's just not a contender to perhaps maybe get some minutes, but I think he could be the main man, of course. And it is a decision to see who will be in that midfield now. It's a bit of a conundrum. We've got Travis, we've got young Adam Morton, we've got Tyler Morton, we've got Buckley as well. 4 guys compete for 2 spots. It is very, very difficult. And then when you move forward, we've got Bradley Dack, who is bouncing back. And of course, what could be really interesting this season is the link-up play, the understanding between Dack and Diaz for the remainder of the season. If it's going to be the remainder of the season, this will be their first full season together without any major injuries. Touch wood, knock on wood, bad boys. Hedges on the right hand side, then Hurst gets the nod for me. Just put him up there because I think we could do with a talisman. Vale Gallagher have failed their addition so far. So let's give it a Hurst at home, see if he can score. And then if so, well, we won't. Take a look at the stats then, shall we? Of course, coming at you right here, right now. Of course, Diaz got 3 goals, Dack 2, Travis 2, and McInday's got 2. Again, get him in, get involved in the minutes, and hopefully get him in, pushed into the first team as well. As for the yellows, Gallagher 3, Travis 3, Dack 2, and Rakix with 2. No reds so far this season. Of course, kicking off forwards, take a look at the stats then. Of course, Rovers stats, 5 goals through open play, 2, a goal apiece from set piece and counter attack. When we are in possession, 39% of the time is down the right. That's the Callum Britton effect. Meanwhile, of course, down the action zones, 42% of the possession is in the middle third, 35% is in the defensive third, just 23% moving forward. As for the shot directions, of course, we prefer the left-hand side to the right. That's the Diaz effect right there. And the shot zones, 55% of all of our shots are in the 18-yard box. Take a look at the opposition then. It is Bristol City, of course, coming at you this weekend at the Ewood Park. Of course, their resume is pretty dang good. Unbeaten over the last 5 games at the very least. And when played at home, they've got 3 clean sheets on the spin. On the road, though, they could only manage a draw against Blackpool, was something that we did manage to achieve. And also a big win over Wycombe Wanderers. Heading out of this game, they'll take on our Northwest rivals as well, Preston North End. Then it's Norwich in front of the cameras on the 14th of September. Burnley away on Saturday, the 17th of September. Then, of course, after the international break, it's QPR and then Coventry in back-to-back home games. Let's take a longer look at the squad then. I can try and see who was added to this team here. Again, I didn't really pay too much attention to the ins and the outs here, but of course, keeping hold of Andres Wyman was monumental for them. Tommy Conway, of course, exploded into the scene so far this season, scoring goals. And Timmy Close was arrived earlier in the campaign as well. Okay. Whoa. I looked at somebody and I vomited. Oh, I think it must be Kay Nysmith. I nearly vomited there. But Carl Nysmith coming at you from Luton. That was a burp. A real nasty piece of shit burp. Ooh. Ooh. You know, when you burp and a little bit of vomit comes up, burp. It's burning. It's like acid in my mouth. But anyway, Carl Nysmith is there, and he's done very well since he's arrived. He's done so well. He tops the charts right here, right now. Of course, the best player so far this season. Antoine Semino as well, explosive forward, a guy who's going to draw attention all the way through to the end of the season and beyond. And of course, Wyman up there with the goals. Speaking of the goals, we'll have a look at the stats in a second, if not already. This is my starting lineup. I think it's pretty much the same team that won against Huddersfield. We've got Bentley between the sticks, Nysmith, Atkinson and Viner. We've got Da Silva on the left, Sykes on the right, Scott and James in midfield. A youngish, well, I would say youngish, but interesting midfield there with Scott. Don't know too much about him. Conway again scoring goals so far. He has to start. Wyman as well, and Wells, who does like to score against us. Speaking of goals, of course, Conway's got 5 so far this season. Wyman's got 4. Semenia's got 3, and Wells has 2. As for the yellows, Williams has got 3, Scott 3, and Viner and Atkinson both have 2. Sykes has got 1 red card. Will he be featured? We'll have to see. But they've scored goals. As you can see, they've scored 13 goals. I don't know if that's in the league, and of course the cup. 8 of them through open play, 2 set pieces, 2 counter-attacks, 1 own goal as well. As for the attacking preferences, they prefer the right-hand side to the left, and of course in possession, of course they are in possession 43% of the time. In the middle third, 29% though going forward, just 28% going back. And of course when in possession, or when they're taking a shot, 24% of it's coming down the left-hand side, and 63% of the shots are in the 18-yard box as well. Let's take a look at the recent record then, shall we? Or the recent form, sorry, heading into this. Of course, Rovers home form, just that 1 defeat, and just 2 goals conceded at home so far this season. As for Bristol City's away day travels, as you can see, back-to-back draws in the league, just 1 win out of 4 in the league. And they've played 4 games on the road, so they played 5 games in total, including the cup. If that makes any sense. In fact, scrap that, spit it out, and reverse it. No wins so far for them on the road, so yeah, pretty good stuff there for Rovers. Something to feed off there for Bristol City. I'll take a look at the recent record then, shall we? Now, this is the last 6 at Ewood Park. It's not great for Rovers. Just 1 win of 6, of course, and that one, the one and only win, was back in 2020. 3-1 it was, with Corey Evans, Tonson Adebayo and Adam Armstrong on the score sheet. Jamie Patterson with the early goal for Bristol City. But they do come to us on the back of that win over us last season. 92-minute winner, Andreas Wyman, of course. And it's actually been back-to-back games without conceding a goal against us. In fact, they've been pretty good against us. Just 1 defeat in the past 6 for them, so pretty good as well. Try to see the second win. Okay, yeah. Moving on to take a look at the last 6 all in all. Then, of course, we did get a draw against them at their place. We did the watch along for that one in a car. That was live. That was live in a bloody car. So yeah, Rovers without a win against Bristol City in 4 competitions in all venues and all that kind of stuff. I think this is about a perfect time to drop in this. Don't forget to vote. Cut your fortune, vote Roverseas. Of course, your one-stop shop for Rovers content. Best in video for an organisation. Best club content creator for a football league. And best club content creator as a whole is 100% free. And of course, you can keep Rovers' name in lights. Let's take a look at the stats then for the Championship as a whole. As you see, Burnley are the best possession-based side. You would never hear that in the Premier League. Of course, Swansea second, Norwich, West Brom, and then Coventry. As for the most aggressive, Sunderland lead the charge there. 21 yellows, 1 red. Borough, Preston, Bristol City, and then Sheffield United. Area duels 1. Wigan are the bosses on that one. Then Preston, QPR, Sunderland, and then Borough. And then, of course, shots per game. Norwich, Sheffield United, West Brom, Burnley, and then Sunderland. And then, of course, pass accuracy, Swansea, Burnley, Norwich, West Brom, and then Middlesbrough. Then the ratings. We don't really talk about that because it's opinion-based. Let's take a look at, of course, the matches elsewhere this weekend. The Championship all kicks off today. West Brom against Burnley. Come on, the Baggies. And then, of course, tomorrow, the Canaries up against Coventry, Millwall against Cardiff City, Swansea, QPR, Rotherham against Watford, Preston against Birmingham, Luton Town against Wigan, and of course the game of the day, or the game of the weekend really, is Rovers against Bristol City, and we'll have the watch on. We'll be live. We hopefully have feet on the ground as well to get a vlog. We'll get a reaction cam and all that kind of stuff as we wrap up this baby in a dicky bow. Moving on, of course, into Sunday's games. We're Reading against Stoke, then it's Huddersfield against Blackpool, Hull against Sheffield. Now, quite a few games on the Sunday, and then Monday it's the Tony Mowbray Derby. It's, of course, Middlesbrough against Sunderland, and it is at the Riverside. Let's take a look at the table then. This is us. Of course, we are 5th. Of course, Bristol City are 7th, and they could actually leapfrog us. In fact, they could go top of the table, and we could also go top of the table heading out of this game. Imagine if we could do that. Goodness gracious me. But it's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, and maybe. The journey so far then for both of these two sides, as you can see, Rovers were top for a little bit, but of course came back crashing back down to earth past a couple of games, and of course now sit pretty though in the playoff spots. Take a look at the top goal scorer. It is Esteban with 7 goals so far. Stewart's up there with 5. Ndai's got 4 as well. Sargent's up there with 4. Willock, Brownhill, Sims, Godden, Brereton's up there, and Azamovic, of course, the defender at the back. As for the assists, Johansson's got 4, Basalar's got 4, Hedges, Norwood, and Chairs have got 3 so far. Prediction time. Be sure to get your own prediction in as well. Of course, get them in the comments, and then maybe we'll feature them live on the watch along, or we'll revisit them next week, of course. But I'm going with A 2-1 win for Rovers, of course. We need a win. Again, maybe a bit of celebration, perhaps. The fact that the Chilean sensation remains for at least the next few months anyway. So 2-1, I think he's probably going to be, if he's going to be here, he's going to be here for the whole season. And we're going to take the L on it next season, unless something batshit crazy goes on in the league. But I'm going with a 2-1 win for Rovers. So get your picks in there. I think we'll get the win. Of course, don't forget to vote. Vote. It is 100% free. Cut your 4 shots, vote Roverseas. Best in video for an organisation. Best club content creator for the Football League, and best content creator as a whole. We're up against the big boys. We don't want to win it. We're not going to win it. There's no way. Their fan base is too massive. But we just want to get our name read out live. And of course, vote. And again, big shout out to Blue Rose Capital for sponsoring this video. You're absolutely fantastic. And of course, we'll be back again for the watch along tomorrow. And of course, the build up pre-game show as well. We'll talk about the transfer window. Oops, that's a bit of gas. Vote. I'm going to get out of here. Until then, guys, we are done.